Hi guys. All right, so now that we are at Friday of the week, I do want to do a quick check-in with you guys. I apologize that I wasn't able to get the Thursday lecture posted up. Wednesday evening, as you all know, we got that update, the COVID update in Florida. It was a little crazy for me, so a little unexpected. Anyway, moving forward, so I want to go over a few more things with you guys. I've been getting a few of your inquiries, so a lot of really good things brought to my attention that I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with. So first things first, let me switch my screen around a little bit because one more time, I'm going to show everybody how to navigate Lab. All right. If I could, there it is. All right. Okay, so you should be able to view my screen right now. So here we are at the lab homepage. Yay, you're gonna have your distance learning announcement. That should be the first thing that you see right now. Your little lab session tracking clock is right here. Okay, so this is your actual homepage. As soon as you sign in, it's just gonna take you right here. Before you get started, please go here into lab session tracking. All right, and then go to start learning session. Right here, this guy. When you click it, it's going to say your learning session time has started and has been recorded. You can go ahead and X out of that at this point. All right, so wonderful. And then as soon as you are done with whatever it was that you were working on, be it your project, your smart notes, whatever, go ahead and come back here. If you can't remember how to get here, go to your home page. And here you go. There's your little time clock again. When in doubt, click that little home page. All right, so we'll go back to lab session tracker and then hit end learning session. Excuse me. And then we can just X out of that. Perfect. All right, so now let me show you how to get to our actual class. I think this is the thing that a lot of us are having issues with, is getting to the class. Everybody just keeps getting sort of lost on lab. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it is a little easy to get lost on. All right, so let's go to the Learn tab. This guy right here, click on Learn. Now, because I'm an educator, mine's going to say educator, yours will say student. All right, so here is, if you are Fort Myers, you'll click on the one that says Fort Myers. If you're Clearwater, you're gonna click on the one for Clearwater. All right, I'm in Fort Myers, so I'm gonna go with Fort Myers. All right, here we go. It's not going to spell out Fort Myers or Clearwater. It will say FM or CW. All right, so I'm in FM, but I will show you that if I go over here to this next one, online learning, CW. So if you are a Clearwater student, you should actually really only be able to see just this option. If you're a Fort Myers student, you should only be able to see this option. If you're seeing anything else, please let me know because I can fix that for you. All right, cool. So we're gonna click on our Cosmo, AIT1, AIT2, online learning, Fort Myers, 600 through 900. These are the hours in and about that you should have at this point. All right, so that's what that little number, those numbers mean. So right here, you will see Cohort C. That's us. That's just what we call us. Cohort C, that is our 600 and 900 AIT1/AIT2 module. Cool. So go right here to Cohort C, week 1. Please click on it, and this will show you everything that you have due for the week. Now, please, I cannot stress this enough. Please only work on the week that we are in. Of course, I mean, if you do want to work ahead, that's okay, as long as you're getting everything that's in the current week done and sent to me on time and fully completed. Because what I don't want to have happen is you skip ahead to something like an assignment that might be a little bit more interesting to you, or for whatever reason, and you take up that precious time on that assignment that you have more time to complete, as opposed to something that's going to be due this week. All right, so week 1, day 1. Actually, I'm sorry. And the other thing that I wanted to add to that as well was, if you are working ahead, let's say that you completed something, let's say that it's week 2, let's just say it's week 2, and you completed something from week 3, don't send it to me right now. Please wait. The reason why I want you guys to work in a linear fashion, so really only working on uh, day one on day one, or only working on day two on day two, is because if you are one of my students who is sending me everything as you do it, it may get lost in my inbox. Please, everybody, I need you to remember that, and it, you know, it's not just me. Pretty much every educator right now that is doing online learning, we are getting so many emails. Every project that you guys have to send to us, anything that is not directly uploaded into lab is having to go to our email on top of all the emails that we're getting already. Okay, so I don't want to lose anything. I'm usually really good about not, but this is a new influx of emails that I'm getting, just like the other educators. So please keep that in mind. The more organized you are, the more organized we are, vice versa. Okay, so perfect. So here on week one, day one, it's going to take you to your assignment sheet. So this is everything that you should do today. So this down here, where it says assignments to turn in today, illustration on layers of the skin, or 2 videos of makeup, well, and 2 videos of makeup application performed by you. I also, I am going to recommend 112.01. If that's the assignment that you see that's on here today, I want all of you to just assume that all of these are due today. All right. If for whatever reason you absolutely can't get one of these done that is not under here, assignments to turn in today, that's okay, because you do have the week. But just so that all of us are staying on track and we're not skipping ahead or getting too jumbled, I want you guys to work in as linear a fashion as possible. So if you do finish your skin theory, in fact, in my opinion, just in my opinion, now everybody is different, but that really is the best way to go about it, is to read your section, okay, so 112.1, and do your smart notes as you go along. Afterwards, immediately afterwards, while everything is nice and fresh, complete all of your lab assignments. Now that is something that I'm getting a lot of questions on. What are the lab assignments? Okay, so here we are. Let's just hit the back button, because this is going to take us back to our class. View this is like, this is our classroom. Yeah, this is our little classroom. And then you can see all of the announcements that I have. All right, so here's our go-to meeting room. This was the email that I sent off to all of you guys. What else do I have down here? Actually, sorry, this one's the go-to-meeting room. This was my uploaded lecture from day one. Okay, so here we go. Let's go into skin theory, since that was week one, day one. Okay. So everything that you see here, web book, you're able to view your book on the web. If you don't have a physical copy of it, that's okay, because it's right here for you. Your study slides. This is going to be the PowerPoint that you pull up, that you look at. So this is your actual lesson. This is what you are looking at to receive all of your information from. All right, so here we go. Boom, all of your slides. Every little bit of information that you need to know for this module is in here, all of it. Here's a little diagram for your skin project that you have to do this week. Layers of the skin, all of it. And I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with these by now, but all right, cool. So when we go down, smart notes, if you are not filling them out in your book, you can fill them out here, and you can either screenshot it or, you know, what have you. You can send it to me. However, whatever works best for you guys, as long as I'm getting the material in one way or the other, that it's fine with me. Okay, learning connection, right? So you just move on down the line. Learning connection, it's in lab, it's in our classroom. We got to do it. So what do those look like? Okay, here we go. So match the term to its definition below. That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay, so you can take these. Oh, come on now. There we go. Doing it backwards. Right, okay. So you grab this and then you drag it to the appropriate spot. That's all you got to do. And then you can exit as soon as you're done. Cool. So then moving on down the line, talking points. Okay, if it's clickable, if it's here, if it's in, if it's in lab, all of your lab assignments, you got to do it. So talking points, this will be our next one. And notice how we're still moving in a linear fashion. Okay, we started with a web book, study slides, we're filling out our smart notes, and then now we're just getting into the rest of the little things that we got to do on lab. Learning connection, talking points. How do you remember the layers of the skin and their function? Share your tips that help you memorize. So this is basically a discussion board. So everybody should be posting on it. I see that a lot of you have already, and I have been reading your responses. They're very good. Yes, I love this. Go, Leanna. I'm going to give Leanna a little shout out there. Okay. All right. And then once we are finished with that and you've done your post, we'll keep moving down. All right, so right after talking points, we have show you now. View the presentation at, here we go. So we'll just click this link and it will take us to what it is that we need to do. Now, educator support, that's not for you guys, that's for me. So you won't be able to see that, but you will see the lesson challenge down here. You do have to take that. It even says right here, required in red, please take the lesson challenge. It's basically like a little quiz that you take after every single module. So every module you do is going to have one of these. Please do them. And then there is this little thing down here, join the conversation. This is not an assignment. This is just a discussion board that I'm gonna urge you guys to use. Discussion boards are amazing. They are, I used to use them a lot when I did online courses, and when I was in college. It's just a really good way for all of us to stay in the loop together, just to get a discussion going. If you have any questions, you guys can sort of, help each other out, peer evaluations and all that. Now, of course, you know that I'm your go-to. You guys can email me anytime. You can get a hold of me at the number that I posted on my Google Voice. Or it goes to Google Voice, which goes right to my phone. So you guys can essentially text me if need be. And some of you, and honestly, you guys, I really kind of prefer that. My preferred way, I will go so far as to say that my preferred way of contact for all of you is to just use my Google Voice number. That is in the email that I sent out to you. And then it's also, if we go back to just our main class page right here, it's in the announcements. All of my information is right in here. All right. Perfect. And then if you guys don't have that or you're having trouble finding that, just shoot me an email. I know that all of you have my email and then I can give it to you. All right, so let's talk about our little projects that we have going on. Here we go, all of our files. So we have our skin line project. All right, let me try to find all of these. This one's lab, they're all gonna be lab, okay. Skin lines research project. All right, so for this, you'll have to research 3 professional and 3 non-professional for a total of 6 skincare lines, not like skin lines, not like wrinkles, but like skincare lines that are available in the market today. For each line, you have to provide the following. All right, so you'll need to provide which products are available within the line. So what that means, let me just choose one right off the top of my head, and I'll go with Redken. Okay, so Redken will be my professional product. First one that I'll start off with. The products that are available on the line. Of course, I start off with a hard one. As you guys may or may not know, Redken is huge. It is just a vast line. In fact, I don't think I need you guys to look at my screen anymore, so hold on. How do we make it stop? Okay, I got it. Okay, so yeah, Redken is it's a huge line. So they have tons of shampoos, tons of conditioners, tons of different styling products, just the absolute works. If you do choose a really vast line like that, I'm not going to ask that you list off every single product they make, but there are some lines out there that really just don't make everything. Maybe you have something that is let's choose Crew, okay, which is primarily a men's hair care line. They're probably not going to have everything. So Crew, I believe it does have, I think, a men's hairspray now, but they're not going to have your 6 to 8 to 10 different ones like Redken does. Okay. So, just do the best there. I'm not asking for the exact amount of products in every single one that they have, but, list off like they have shampoos and conditioners, they have styling products that range from this to this. I'm happy with that. Okay. So price points for each product. So what's the range? So Redken, I think the most we'll say regular size, the most inexpensive regular size product I've seen from them is probably $17 maybe, right? That's around where they start, and they average at about $20 a bottle for any given thing. So I think the most expensive product, retail product anyway, that Redken had, I want to say that it's their diamond oil, which is upwards of $30. So, and it's just like a little serum. So it's pretty expensive, but the packaging is really nice. And I personally really like it a lot. All right. So their claim to fame. What is that? Redken's claim to fame is that they have been an industry leader since almost the beginning of the hair care industry. They've been around for a really, really long time. They're trusted. Everybody knows the name Redken, and they have something for everything. I think a lot of salons choose Redken or lines like Redken because they know that they have a product for every service, every situation that any salon or any salon professional could ever need. As opposed to maybe your smaller lines that just don't have that much of a range. All right, potential client demographics for the line: old, young, economic. Okay, so let's go to a drugstore brand. So let's hit one that I think a lot of people use at one point in their life is Garnier. Everybody loves Garnier. I used to love it too, even though it made my hair feel terrible. I really liked the smell, and I thought that the commercials were a lot of fun. At least like when I was younger, I remember when Garnier came out, they had some kind of like whistle song or something, and it would still get stuck in my head every once in a while. But I remember that, and it made me want to buy it, even though it made my hair feel like silicone. I don't care. It was shiny, and you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. It wasn't even that shiny. It wasn't. I just liked the song and had it stuck in my head. So potential client demographics. I'm gonna say for something like a lot of your drugstores, I have found throughout the years that it's mainly your younger clients that are using your drugstore shampoos, conditioners, what have you, retail in general. Once you get a little bit older, you start wanting to splurge on yourself a little bit more, but I've seen it 100 times where, when I was behind the chair, there was a mom and let's say her daughter or son. You do the consultation, come to find out, okay, she's using Pantene Pro V, the daughter, fine. So, I'll try to upsell them on something, and mom is like, no, she's however old, she's only 13, she's 14 or 15, she's not going to take care of her hair, but I'm going to take some. Something special about the line that you choose. Let's see. All right, here's one that started out professional that went to drugstore. So Vidal Sassoon, if you go to places like Target or CVS or what have you, you'll find you can find shampoos and conditioners or products that say Vidal Sassoon on them. For those who do not know who Vidal Sassoon is, he did reinvent a lot of the classic haircuts that we have. In fact, he does have a signature for a signature haircut for all of the forms that we see in our book. Vidal Sassoon is credited with creating the 5-point haircut, and then we can talk a little bit more about that when we go there, but cool. And then reviews online, that one's easy. Just type in whichever line it is that you have and go on there and see what they have to say. All right, so moving on to our next one. So we have our influencer project. This one's a lot of fun. So in today's world, social media presence helps create your brand and ultimately your business. The project is intended to assist you in researching successful social media influencers. Cool. So you'll need to find 2 social media influencers from the makeup world and do some research on them. These are the 7 things that we are going to want to know of this person. So you have options here as well on how you would like to give us all of this information. So you could do a report 2 to 3 pages long. I'm a writer. I would probably choose that. But I get it. Not everybody is going to want to write 2 to 3 pages, and that probably seems really intimidating. I get it. So you could do a video. It just has to be 5 to 7 minutes long. You could also do a PowerPoint, 10 to 12 slides. I like PowerPoints too. I think those are always a lot of fun. I just ask that you give me some sustenance if you're going to do a PowerPoint. Please don't just give me like a fact per slide. Like I want to see pictures. I want a lot of facts on there. Really zazz it up. And then a webinar, you could do a webinar that's 5 to 7 minutes long, which would be similar to something that I'm doing right now, where you're just candidly speaking about the person into the camera. All right. All right, layers of the skin drawing. This one is pretty straightforward. So you could either do a drawing or you could create a 3D model or some other creative way, like on here it says food or crafts, but just whatever works for you. The purpose of this, I know that the drawing is in the book, but the drawing sitting in the book is not jumping out and sticking into your head. The best way to do that is to try to pull that information out of the book and force it into your head. So let's draw it or let's create it. Let's get our hands into it and let's do something a little hands-on. So that's what this is. So for your dermis, epidermis, epidermis, stratum corneum, just label everything on there. Most of what I've received so far are drawings, but I would love to see some 3D models. This skin disorders memorization worksheet, I can't remember which one it is right now, but one of you guys pointed out to me that there's not, one of these does not have a definition that goes along with it. If you come across that, and I'm sure you will, oh, I can't for the life of me remember which one it was. I didn't actually create this worksheet, but yeah, if you come across that, just ignore it. If you find that there's one that is just sort of sticking out, it's okay, it's fine. Just do the best that you can, and the rest of them are on there. So it's just a match the definition with the word with your key term. That's all. From here on out, all of our lectures are going to be live. I did want to try doing doing one of them as pre-uploaded. I guess in my mind, I was thinking that will be less stressful for some of you guys who feel pressure to make it to the live one. But unfortunately, that fell apart due to circumstances. But that either way, it was solidified this week, I believe, actually on Wednesday, so these live lectures, they are not mandatory. So if you don't make it, it's not that you're being docked. So it's not the same thing as if you didn't make it to class, you don't get your hours and everything it's not that. So the face-to-face live lectures are going to be optional. They're not mandatory. You don't have to be there, but I would love for you to be there so that we can just touch base. We can be face-to-face. You guys can ask me questions in real time. It's good for us just to get all together as a classroom. And the cherry on top is that you can accumulate extra hours for joining me on them. So I know that I know that a lot of us are perturbed about that as well, that we don't have makeup time right now, but this is kind of one of those things. So this is at least a way for you to accumulate a couple hours here and there. I know that it's not, coming in for a full 8-hour day or anything like that, but we're currently still working on that aspect of this new territory. So on that, the live lectures may not always be 2 hours either. Sometimes they might just be a half hour, or maybe they're an hour and a half, or it's really just whenever I'm finished going through what we need to go through for the day, finish answering any questions, anything like that. I don't want to keep us all tied up if we just finish the material early, then it's fine. You guys can just go ahead and get back to work and what all. So perfect. I know that a few of you guys are new now that we are mandatorily, well, the campuses are mandatorily and very temporarily closed for students. So all of us have moved to online. well, the vast majority of us have moved to online. So for those of you who are new, I know that this will be very helpful to you, but I urge every single one of you to please, please, please reach out to me if you're having any issues, if you feel that you haven't had maybe enough communication, or if you're unclear on something, you guys can reach out anytime. As I said, I prefer that you use my Google Voice number because it's going to go directly to my phone. It just pops up like a little text message. So it's less likely that I'm going to not see it if it's sent in there. Because the only people that are contacting me through Google Voice are you guys. That's it. Everybody else in my life has my phone number. And then that way your inquiries are not getting mixed in with the thousands of other emails that I have as well. So yeah, definitely I prefer Google Voice, but email is fine, and I'm checking it constantly. I just have my phone like attached to me right now. All right, awesome. Well, guys, I think that's all that I have for you right now. And this was just this little video. I wanted to make this one to make up for Thursday, so I have more information for you guys on here, and we are touching base twice a week, and then two, just as a follow-up to all of the inquiries that I was getting. All right, guys, well, enjoy your weekend. Everybody, please stay safe, and I urge you not to go outside if you don't have to. Nobody's trying to get pulled over or anything like that. Just be very careful, and just stay in touch, okay? All right, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye.